what I want to say to you is this: core values in your business are usually something that people think about later. And I encourage all businesses to think about it today, if you haven't, or have already thought about it, because it's so very important. And it really informs everything that you do in your marketing. It informs how you partner with strategic alliances and people that want to help promote for you. It informs how you have relationships with your customers. Do you see what I'm saying? There's so many different places in all the different areas of your businesses. This is really important. When we look at your personal core values, that's something that we can do that can take quite a while, right? And I'm happy to share with you mine and how they inform my daily gratitude practice and how I use them and exactly what they are. What I'll say is this: what makes your business different is going to be one of the first questions you want to ask yourself when identifying your company's core values. Right. So Angela asked me the other day in a legacy leader call, could you just give us what makes you different? What's my number three? We are philanthropy first. We're not strategic philanthropists. We're not looking to look good. We really, of all the people that I've met in the marketplace, I don't meet many people who do what we do. The first dollars that come to our company are donated to charity. That's how we've raised $750,000 for causes that support women and children on 5 continents. And hopefully, God willing, I'm going to go to Australia this year. Then we'll have six. I don't know what we're going to do with Antarctica because I just really don't know how many people live there. But you guys hang in with me, okay? So, what makes your company different? And how do you have a core value that's attached to that? So, the way that I want each of you to think about this is I want you to look at some role models. You can look at Whole Foods. I love their core values. I think they're one of the best that really is a mission-driven company that's been very successful. You can look at eWomen Network, and they have really well written out their core values is right on their website, right? I want you to think about that. The way that ours evolved was through a lot of practice, but I want to say you don't want to have 25 core values. You want to have 5 to 7 core values, and they'll usually be tied in somewhat to your personal core values. So the short exercise for you to do, if you haven't done this in a while, is to sit down and write down what you value, what's important to you, and then I want you to ask yourself why. And for most people in their personal core values, it's usually around a few things: health, if they're aware that that's an important thing. And health is one of those things that you're only aware that's important when it's not working, right? Wealth, abundance, being able to have access to resources and whatever languaging that comes in, love and relationship with others. In my personal core values, I have a strong core value for contribution. It's such a big deal in my life because I grew up very differently than I live today. And for the grace of God and some really amazing women who saw me when I could not see myself, I was able to receive access to resources that I probably never would have had if I'd just been in my zone, right? So there are people who reached out and said, hey, doesn't have to be this way. And they lifted me up and educated me and brought me to a new level. So in my personal core values, what that looks like is I have a core value around enduring contribution. This started because I was gratefully giving back for what I had received, but I got really clear that I don't want to just have a one-time thing with people, right? You'll notice if you hang out on our playground how much we talk about the lifetime relationships you have with clients. That's really important, not only for the lifetime value, dollars and cents for your business, but also for the ease and grace of your experience and the deeper healing that happens when someone stays with you year after year. Right? They're going to get a solution to their problem. They may have something else, Gabrielle, that they need help with. They may have somebody else in their family. You become, as Patricia said, kind of like the trusted advisor for people, right? And we have people at this point who have been with me since 2012. It's now 2024. That's pretty remarkable, right? So philanthropy first is one of our company core values. The next one for us is love is in the details. I believe that there's something so important about how we do things and how we care for people. And when we don't, and when we really care, and it's just like even doing this work, you could zip over this and this could be one more thing. You're like, okay, I'm going to go and then I'm going to get back to my to-dos. But if you really sit down and think about what you care about and why you care about it will make a big difference for you. I'm going to give you what love looks like in my personal values, just as an example, and then we'll kind of move through the rest of these. When my children were small, when I crafted my what I call now my circle of life, which is what encompasses all of my core values, uh, I had not experienced safe, nurturing relationships elsewhere. And they really were these beautiful babies that were safe and nurturing and loving. And when I got divorced from my first husband, I was very aware of like how much I missed being with them and how much that broke my heart. And what I experienced with them was a level of intimacy and sharing, right? I'm sharing, they're sharing. It's in this give and take, really beautiful peer to peer conversation, even though I'm the mama and they're the baby, right? And also compassionate nurturing. My children are the most compassionate, nurturing people you're ever going to meet in your life. They literally are just beautiful givers. Their father is a beautiful giver, right? So they've grown up. That's, for me, the ideal in a relationship is intimate, it's sharing. Intimate meaning like the mask is off, not intimate sexually, right? There's compassion and awareness for each other, and it's a nurturing environment. So when we look at how that translates into our business, I have an incredibly intimate relationship with many of you. We really do. We have a deep trust, a deep relationship, a deep love. It comes because we made it a priority in our company to make sure that you know that you're loved, right? Whether it's your birthday gift, whether it's your welcome calls, whether it's a handwritten note, we really look at like how can we give you an awareness of how much you matter, right? And we really, I think we knock it out of the park when we get to events because we do chocolate kisses, we do all kinds of cool stuff for everybody. But we're just even in our day to day practice. I mean, if we're not on it, I'm on Leanne. She's like, that's why she's doing client care. She's fantastic at. She really is a person who lives, loves in the details in her own life. So you want to think about how your values are going to be experienced by your customers and clients and how your team members have to match. So we recently brought somebody on. Our next one is generosity in everything we do. Everyone who works our team gives first. They're givers, right? We're givers, they're givers. You want to surround yourself with people who value what you value. So generosity in everything we do is something I look for when we're bringing on new people to our team. I also listen for this when I'm interviewing potential clients. And I want you to understand that there is no lack. Whatever it is that you want to experience in your business, whatever that dollar and cents is, whatever that impact is, it's available when you have clarity. And then you do the actions to bring people back again and again to the solutions to their problems. Right. So the next thing in our world is we believe that action changes everything. So I look for team members who take action. I look for clients who take action. Why do you think I do that? I am in business partnership with my clients. I cannot do it for them. I can do it with them. Anybody who's been married understands and you have a successful relationship. It's not about what you do or what they do. It's about how you partner. Right. And so, in order for our clients to achieve great results, that's when I talk about the one, two, three. Who are they? What are they struggling with? How do you uniquely partner with them? That's important. In our core values is the power of partnerships. What we know is that when we partner with the right people, everybody wins. Right. So, love is in the details, generosity in everything we do, action changes everything. We really believe in graceful growth, and that lives in my own personal values and also in the values of our company. We're not on a race to hit a revenue goal for the sake of hitting a revenue goal. The next book that I want to write is Give Your Way to Millions. And I want to do that. We're at 750,000. I feel like we'll go over $1 million in donations. And then we'll hopefully be giving and giving and giving as the community grows long beyond me being here, right? It will happen in God's timing. It will happen gracefully. And what's most important is that we recognize that our businesses are here to support our lives, not our lives are here to support our businesses. This happens so often for women that we don't allow ourselves to have time freedom. We don't allow ourselves to have rich relationships elsewhere because we're on a mission. And we've got strong mission focused businesses, right? They're pulling us forward. We've got to build the boundaries. We've got to build the boundaries and decide when are we going to work. So the final value I want to share with you is that exceptional experiences provide the environment for transformation. We did our first little mini event in 2010. I did not have a list. I had no idea what I was doing. We brought in 19 people. 14 of them signed up for our $97 a month program that we had at the time, and then 4 of them signed up for our, $5,000 program, and then 1, we just lost that person, I don't know how. But, we go for 100% fulfillment in the room when we have a live event, not 100% conversion that they come to our party to move forward, but that the woman who's there has an awareness and an ability to make a contribution to a cause she cares about, whether it's the charity partner for the event or different, that she has clarity on her next steps, that she knows when she leaves that event, she has had an environment that was safe and nurturing so she can go out and have the confidence to take action. And then the third goal for us is that those who are in our party, I mean, you guys are here today. If you're not in a program with us, of course, we would love to have a conversation with you to see, do you want to play with us? Is there some place that our company can partner with your company to create a greater impact in the world? So your core values, I want you to work on them. I want you to do this as a homework assignment. If you want my help on that, send them back to me. Let's look at them together. Often what helps is to tie core values to language that will anchor it in your brain, right? When I talk about I value love and relationships, I don't say I value love and relationships. I say I value intimate sharing. I value compassionate nurturing in the world. And I have that with my clients. I have that with my team. I have that with my children. I have that with people in my community, right? Like it's really cool. So choose your words to anchor something that's going to really matter for you. It'll make it easier for you to remember. It'll also make it easier for you to live through it. Next, I want to move to your vision statement. Now, this again is something that could be let me just tell you how women take themselves out of the game. Let me just pause and tell you what I see as a possible objection that you haven't even brought up yet. But I'll tell you that the objection I get from people is I'm confused. I don't really understand. Who am I to do this? I'm not ready. I'm going to wait until I get X, Y, Z, or Q, or R figured out. And then I'm going to move forward to the action. Each one of us has a gift and we have a reason we've been called. That's why we're in mission driven businesses. We have something that's calling us forward. Every time we play small and hold ourselves back, it's actually not a generous act because we're making it about ourselves. It's a human condition. Okay. We're doing our best. Everybody on this call has done a lot of hard work in our personal development, in our professional development. We are here to lead because we've been called to lead. We would not be called to lead before our time. It's my understanding that God's timing is the divine timing. What we need to do is not get in our own way. Okay. So I'm telling you this because I want you to really think about your vision statement as number one, something that your company represents, not you personally. Okay. Because I'm in the business of building businesses, not in the business of building self employed people. We have lots of women in our community who are doctors and lawyers and accountants and CPAs and financial planners and all kinds of different companies, right? But when you build a business, it's something that's going to live beyond you. And this is your legacy work. So when you're thinking about legacy, when you think about a vision statement, and I'll tell you what our vision statement is. Our vision statement at Limitless Women is a world where business is a force for good. Our businesses partner regularly with public needs to provide resources as needed. All people from all walks see themselves as valuable and others as worthy and valuable. Mm. So this is my ideal for where business is actually a vehicle for change. Right? That's what we stand for in our vision. What does your business stand for in the world? What is it that you see in the world that you'd like to see more of? So if you had a magic wand, what would your company be contributing to in the betterment of humanity? And that's a big one, my loves. Take 15 minutes right now and write your vision statement. You should have a copy of ours just as a template or a swipe, whatever, to give you some kind of inspiration. What is it that your company stands for? The company that you're building that's going to take your message beyond you. And for those of you that are thought leaders, that you are the ones, and so you're writing the books and you're teaching your modalities and you're doing your piece, The way that your thought leadership gets to be a legacy business is when we get it out of your brain and out of your mouth and into systems that can be delivered by other people. Okay, the way that I see this statement, and you guys should have this statement. You have the short versions, right? And then you have this longer elaborated one. This elaborated one is where the sweet spot lies. This is in the languaging. So in our mission statement that's more elaborated that we use for our marketing language, you're going to hear, especially if you've not been friends for a while, you've seen this stuff again and again and again, because that's the beauty of what we're doing right now. Anybody that's willing to sit down and spend 90 minutes to 2 hours doing this work will have so much freedom on the other side, and that's how life is, isn't it? Right? We did the work. Okay. So our mission statement is that we help, it says I help, but we help mature, spiritually connected, mission focused women business owners to get out of overwhelm and finally find profitability and freedom in their businesses so that they can give to themselves and others. And I want you to just write this stuff down for number one. What you want is the who. Who is it? And what we know in our world is that the what, which is number two of number one, A, B, I guess it should be number B, is when someone comes to me and they say, I need help, they are intelligent, they are spiritually connected. I think that's probably because we're a philanthropy first organization. We're not attractive to people that don't have a spiritual component. And I don't know how to say that other than, you know, it's my belief system that has me give because I can, but people come from all different walks of life in our world. It's not just about being Christian or Jewish or Buddhist or, but I'm saying it's not about that religion. It's about the knowing that we get to give, and that I can see that as a spiritual component. Okay. So who is it that you really want to spend time with? What are they struggling with? The two things that show up in our world are time and money. Now we know that we all have exactly the same amount of time. However, what happens in our world is that women are smart, they're educated, they're working hard, and they feel tired at the end of the day. They do not get the results they want. They feel like there's more they have to do. That is a symptom. Now I'm going to put my doctor hat on, Dr. Caroline, and I am not a doctor. But as in my business, if I was going to be a business doctor, I'll tell you that is a symptom. It's an evidence of an underlying problem of the poverty consciousness. The poverty consciousness shows up in two ways in our world. It shows up in no matter how hard I work, I can't get ahead. There's always more. The second one is this feeling about not having money. The first time I had somebody say to me, I don't know if I can afford to work with you. I only have $500,000 in the bank. I was like, wow, I didn't have $500,000 in the bank. I thought that was mind blowing. I've had multiple women say to me since then, I'm afraid I can't retire. I only have $1 million. And I'm like, wow, here's the deal. The fear is really driving their actions and holding them back from being in leadership. Do we feel the fear? We do it anyway. I think Nike, whoever we can give credit to for that one, we go, we do it. And then we walk in faith, right? So there's a spiritual component for us again. Okay. So why people come to our world is so that they can give to themselves and others. That's the results that a woman wants when she comes into Limitless Women. She is wanting to build a business that provides sufficiency for herself, for the people she cares about, for her community, and she is desiring to give from the overflow. If she doesn't have that, we're not a match. If she's too cool for school, we're not a match. She's already got it all figured out, we're not a match. We can be friends, but we're here to grow with purpose. Right? We are literally entrepreneurs growing profits with purpose. That's what our subtitle is on our Facebook page. Okay. So the first section you want here, this first paragraph is who is it? And the more succinct we can get with it and play with it, I'm here for you. What are they struggling with? What are they aware of? Right? My women are aware of overwhelm. They are aware of not having profits. They may be having businesses again that it's similar to some of you. It looks good on the outside. I got a business that's bringing in 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, and I'm not paying myself. Okay. There's something going on there. The second paragraph is this. I only work with, and everybody write that down right now. If you're going to do your company, do we only work with? If you're going to be your self-employed person, right? I only work with. Okay. No right or wrong here. At Limitless Women, we only work with women business owners. That's really an important distinction that I want you guys to take a minute and catch here, because these tiny, tiny Kaizen nuances are the big game changer in your company. When you see me writing emails for Radio Fridays for 8 years, some of you have been on my list for a long time, I speak to women business owners. I've been coached to talk to female entrepreneurs, da 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 da, this and that. I'm like, listen, I'm talking to women who are here to build a business so that it can give to themselves and others. A business is something that goes on beyond your life. We've sold 6 businesses. We did not sell 6 Laura Gisbornes. Only one of me. Okay. So I only work with women business owners. See the difference? Who have a proven track record. Everybody in this room is successful, very humble. We tend to attract a very humble community, probably because you're all so spiritually connected. I'm here to lead leaders. So I know that our company is a leadership development company. We want to work with people who are personally responsible. They have a track record of growing their business through serving their clients. Spiritually connected. Now, this is where I want you to get this 3 different distinctions that you know about your person. And what are those distinctions of the deeper who? But I think that's the piece we want to look here. So in our world, number one is they have a track record through serving, right? They're already people that are servants. It's not a new concept for them. Number two in our world is that they are spiritually connected, right? And spiritually connected results in them being personally responsible often. And they're really committed to growing their profits so that they can give back to others. Right? I'm saying the same thing to you again and again. And I apologize. That's why I gave it to you in writing so you can play with it. But I want you to get the distinctions of all the tiny distinctions. And you'll write something like this and you'll rewrite it and you'll rewrite it and you'll rewrite it as your company grows because you will change as a founder. The team that you have around you will be fulfilling the promise, right? The goal is for you as a founder is to be the messenger, to be the person with the vision, to bring this, leadership to the world. The team, when we get into that in school, is the team is the most robust thing. That's why we made business school a lifetime program because you're alive and breathing, you aren't going to be done with it, right? Until you sell this baby or you decide to exit. This company is going to be run by a team of other individuals so that you can create greater impact in the world, right? We've got to get it out there. Next, so we've got 3 distinctions in the deeper who. That's number 2. Okay. Number 3 is the one that ladies don't like, but we're going to hang in there and do it anyway. And number 3 is who do you reject working with? And I will ask you, I've got it here in one sentence, but I got to tell you, you know the stories behind the story. You don't have to give the context in your mission statement. You've got to be really clear about who this work does not work for. In 12 years, we've had 2 people that came through that were psychologically not well. It's in our contract. We are not doing therapy here at it. You know what I mean? We're really not. We're that in the contract for a reason. Right? Out of tens of thousands of people, right, that we've met at this point. That's not too bad. Okay. But you got to think about the clues for the people that are not going to be good for you or good for your community or good for your team or good for themselves. Get the idea? So in our world, we actually reject working with somebody who's a victim. If they are not personally responsible, which was up here in number 2, I can't do it for them, but we can do it with them. Right? So if somebody comes in and they've got a story and a drama, no, thank you. Another way we look at that is if they're closed-minded. Same thing. Caroline, if somebody comes in and they already know everything, do not waste your time. Please don't bother. Love them. As Sandra says, bless and release them and let them go find their solutions elsewhere or let them be deeply addicted to their struggle. Not your job. Okay. And the third one is being addicted to personal drama. This little card my son gave me. No drama for mama. Keep it right here to remind me in case anything comes across my purview. It's a little dramatic. We don't talk about that. We have a mission. There are people in the world that are really having real problems, not the problem that they get $1 million in the bank. They're trying to feed their children. They're trying to figure out how to get education so they can better their families and heal cycles of poverty. These are real problems. This is not, I only have $1 million when the stock market's down. Not my person. Okay. Who is not your person? Please write it down. That's number 3. Now, number 4 is what happens if they don't get your help? So let's say we've got a person in our world who's personally responsible, who's got a great track record, who really cares, who shares our core value about giving, and she is not profitable. She is not in a place where she can take care of herself and others. What's happening? What happens is she continues to feel overwhelmed. That's number one. Number two, she continues to work too hard. You guys hear me say this often. And one of the reasons we created business school is that there's such an art and a science to doing the right things in the right order in business. You know, when you get the business, like in the house is all built, it's great, but you can't put in the windows when there's no framing. Right? So teaching women to do business in the right order, it frees everybody up, right? So if they are working too hard, that doesn't equate to working, doing the right activities. And they're struggling to get ahead personally and professionally. This is the paragraph. Without my help, these women continue to feel overwhelmed, work too hard, and struggle to get ahead in their lives personally and professionally. In that section, what I want you to do is to write under section number 4, what happens without your assistance or without your company's assistance? And I want 3 distinctions there. And I'll tell you why I keep going 3 distinctions, 3 distinctions, 3 distinctions, because in your email marketing, in your social media marketing, in your sales conversations, people can remember 3. In your talks from stage, I'm going to tell you 3 things today. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you that. And then I'm going to tell you what I told you. And then I'm going to go through number 1 and number 2. These are the 2 things I told you. But before I tell you number 3, I'm going to tell you this other thing. And then I'm going to go back and recap. The brain can handle it. You can write this stuff out one time, and then your team can use it again and again and again and again. So now number 5 is kind of sticky, but I think this is one of those things that's worth a little time on your part. And I'll tell you what happens in this one. So number 5 in our world is you're going to go deeper. You've got what happens. I'm just going to read this to you. So what happens with people in our world is they feel overwhelmed, they work too hard, and they struggle to get ahead. Those are like sound bites, right? But what happens underneath is that their life becomes a living hell. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed that they're not farther along. They've lost connections with their loved ones who don't understand why they're working so hard. These husbands, these parents, these kids, the neighbors are like, what do you do? Nobody has any idea. And then when you're not paying yourself, they're like, why are you working 1,000,000 hours and then you're still not profitable? What's going on here? Okay. Something needs to be addressed. They're physically exhausted, right? So the physical manifestations start showing up. So our women come to me, they come to me weary. They really do. They come to me weary. They come to me tired. And they don't have any place they're allowed to let themselves be that way until we get on a conversation. It's not uncommon for a woman to say to me, I've been dealing with this for a long time and I haven't had anybody to talk to about it. And I'm not a therapist. It's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to partner with you if you're here to change the world. Okay? But our women come weary, they're physically exhausted from overworking and from living on a financial roller coaster, the ups and downs and the ups and downs. Okay. We've talked a lot about this in business school. And if you guys are okay, I'll just say that is I'm saying, please watch what we're doing since I came back to work. We took 2 years off. It's a long time, great luxury. We kept going. It's our community. I mean, lots of followers. It's very blessed. But we kept doing what we could do gently, but I wasn't going to bring clients in if I couldn't support them. And you watch me like come back to work this year and be like, okay, I'm back. And then we started growing, but watch what we're doing behind the scenes. Open our emails, please. It helps our open rate. Look at our social media stuff, like it and comment. Okay. Because what we're doing is bringing the awareness consistently. And that's what your marketing has to be. It has to be consistent. And it has to keep bringing, are you struggling with this? Let's have a conversation. I'm here for you. Okay. So in this section, I want you to go deeper about what happens. Our women are physically exhausted. They're living on a financial roller coaster. They always worry about money. Now, this is the part that freaks me out where I'm saying, like, how can you have $1,000,000 in the bank and be worried about money? Guess what? You can. Surprise. Okay. Because the underlying poverty consciousness is not enough. And no matter how much it is, you can have $10,000,000. I don't know. I don't have $10,000,000, but you can have $10,000,000 and feel like not enough. You feel scared. It feels real, right? Your people are dealing with something. Next section, we're on number 6 right now. What could happen for your prospective client if they said yes to themselves? What could happen? In our world, our women develop systems for healthy recurring revenue because they move to owning a business that has consistent systems for marketing and bringing people in, right? And we teach them things to help them convert sales, right? So, what we want to have for our leaders is healthy recurring revenue, working way fewer hours, getting rid of the overwhelm. And this frees them up not only financially, it frees them up emotionally, right? They start to see themselves. This identity conversation we had becomes a completely different identity. And part of the healing in the action in our world is by inviting you to give. We invite you to make a contribution because you start to see yourself empowered if you've been feeling disempowered. Get to make a difference for somebody else, right? Okay. So, what are the three things that can happen for your prospective client when they say yes to themselves? And I want you to remember that when someone comes to work with you, they're not saying yes to you, they're saying yes to themselves. They're saying, yes, I'm going to invest in getting what I need or what my business needs or what my family needs to be able to achieve the result that I'm not able to do on my own. Right. So, too cool for school, never going to get there. Already got everything handled, never going to get there. Really clear about this is a problem, going to ask for help, going to get there. Remember the thing. Addicted to drama, go somewhere else, please, and work that out with a therapist. Much better. So, what the last little group of stuff here you see in bullet points, the way we help them get results is we help them clearly define a business model that is simple, replicable, and profitable. When I keep going back to one, two, three, who is it that we're here to serve? What are they struggling with? And how are we helping them? Right? This is business. An energy exchange happens, money changes hands, everybody wins. The next thing that we do is we teach women how to have easy sales conversations. If you guys are on the journey with me right now, we're playing along. We're going to do sales with ease this summer. You're going to see it in August. All of our thing. We've got the 90-day revenue accelerator coming up. So excited to do that with you. Moving into sales with ease. It'll be a perfect match for what we're doing in the 90-day revenue. And it's a perfect invitation for business school students because it's one of their most common struggles. So what we look at is we help them clearly define, and we help you clearly define which actions you need to take and all the things you need to let go of. Part of our self-care acronym is all the stuff you can let go of. It's not essential. We help you build a team when you're ready to do that supports you and pays for itself, right? Because you execute and you bring clients in. We teach you the systems around your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, that's what we're here for, right? To analyze your numbers, and you want to start tracking what you got when you get little. Know your numbers, have them be your friend. That's a big part of our healing in Limitless Women. Often women are not comfortable with their numbers. It hasn't been their playground. They haven't had that education. They've deferred that, and somewhere they got a message that, hey, maybe that's not for you. Okay? So the final thing that we have in here, in our results, the steps, these are actually, this section number 7 are the steps you take someone through to get the result that you're going to get. So again, in your world, Gabby, you can probably see the different steps that you take. There's probably a discovery, there's some clarification, there's some things that have to be done to get provided, to get prepared and to be qualified. I would imagine there's steps, right? So what we want to do is put language to those steps so that you can use this language in your enrollment conversations. And because I have this language right in front of me, I can make it really easy when I'm having a sales with ease conversation. I can say to Lacey, you remind me so much of my client, Mary Jo, who had a very similar experience. This is what she was struggling with, and this is how we helped her. And as soon as she got the systems in place and she understood her numbers and we helped her build a rock star team, she had all kinds of freedom to go and scale her company and go to multiple locations. Right? But this is what do we do? How do we do it? What do we do? How do we do it? Number 7 is how do we do it? What are the steps? Okay. The final thing we have here, which is usually something we don't get to talk about very often, unless we're like in this environment or at a live event, is that we co-create with our clients a business that not only sets them free, it becomes a part of their legacy that they can be proud of. You get that book written, you get those clients healed, you get those kids scholarships, you get this work in the world, you feel great. I was pleasantly surprised when I went to Ecuador. I didn't expect to even see Veronica. I really didn't expect to hear about 400 babies. Hot dog. What a celebration. I'm giving gratitude for that every day. We're bragging about it in the world. We probably should brag about it a little bit more. But I'm thinking it's, that place, not because it's not me. We did that. That's what our community is capable of, saving lives. With me? So that's what I got for the long version of the mission statement. The short version is here on your sheet underneath the vision statement. And I think, at least I hope, if I did a good job today, it will make sense to you when I say our bigger mission is to heal the poverty consciousness. Is literally what I do all day, every day, is love women into loving themselves. And yet women don't come to me for that, which is why we have this one. And this is the sweet spot. This is the language that you need for the website. This is the language you need for social media. This is the language you need for enrollment conversations. This is the messaging that matters for your business. And I still know that I know what we do. I know that in the healing, women become incredible leaders. They become incredible contributors. And they often are just not ready for that conversation. Just like that last one, the legacy part. People are like, oh, wait, I'm not ready for legacy. Someday when I get there, I'll do that. Right? So by giving them opportunities to give and grow as they grow, it's really sweet stuff. Thank you so much for making time to be with me today.
Are you a limitless woman? This is your personal invitation to learn how you can join our online community, grow through our business school, and play with us at our live events. Go to limitlesswomen.com for all the details. That's limitlesswomen.com. Thanks for joining us.